I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we are taking a closer look at Captain America Steve Rogers issue number 9. It's the trial of Maria Hill, and it's shaping up to be the trial of the century. What'll happen next? Let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? Alrighty then, so as has become customary, the comic opens up with a flashback to young Steve Rogers' time in the Hydra Academy. Despite his asthma and weak frame causing him to continually trip up in field exercises, he is no less slowly but surely beginning to win over the top brass of the Hydra school. They believe soon he'll be ready to be sent on his first important mission for the Hydra cause, but more on that in a little bit. Now, in the present, Maria Hill is preparing herself for the military tribunal that will soon be held to decide her fate following the events of Pleasant Hill and the standoff event. Odds are not exactly in her favor, but this lady is hard as nails and she's going to go down fighting. Because of this, she's given some of her smartest scientists a blank check to work on some sort of secret project for her. Maybe it's a diet soda that tastes great and actually does help you lose weight. That could really make a lot of people warm up to her. I know it would for me. Captain America will have to miss the opening days of the trial, mainly because he's already on important business with Union Jack over in Scotland. It turns out a bunch of Darkhold cultists have set up shop there, and they believe that they've woken up an evil ancient demon. Quite fittingly, the theme of Captain America's internal monologue while he beats up this demon is actually that of judgment, how he was always considered himself to be his own harshest critic. Also, hey, love the feature on the new shield that he breaks it in two and they basically become giant brass knuckles for him. Shows how his character has undergone some change in his thinking, where before Cap would be fine just smacking you with the end of a shield. Wouldn't be lethal most of the time anyway. This is most definitely lethal. Now back with the trial of Maria Hill, it doesn't take long for this thing to become one giant circus. The prosecution brings out all sorts of generals and politicians that talk about how reckless Maria Hill is, how she has a history and a pattern of putting people and even the world in danger, be it her actions during the original Civil War, the Second Civil War, and oh yeah, who can forget that whole mind control Abu Ghraib thing? But Hill, tricksy little hobbit that she is, goes the complete other direction for her defense. She gets a bunch of real people, soldiers, civilians, and in one case, an actual D-list supervillain who was locked up in Pleasant Hill. He says having his mind tampered with was actually a good thing. He was aimless before, a D-list criminal who was going nowhere in life, but after Kobik screwed with his head, he believed himself to be happy for the first time ever with friends and family that loved him. Even when his mind was put back into its regular state though, he remembered feeling good and wanted to strive to make his life better because of the whole mind control thing. You know, Nick Spencer is opening up an interesting can of worms right here, right now. He's basically saying that even when Captain America gets set back to normal, and the status quo is always returned, so of course he'll be set back to normal, he'll still remember his life as a Hydra sleeper agent, even though that's not real. But as we discover, Maria Hill's real ace up her sleeve comes at the very end. You see, she got her scientists to develop a brand new defense shield for the planet Earth made entirely out of pure energy. This device, codenamed the Shield, once it's completed, would be able to completely protect Earth from all alien outsiders, including the new Chitauri wave that is headed to Earth very soon. Which, A, as we discovered in the last issue, is actually the work of Captain America trying to keep the world superhero community busy, and B, bigger than the Annihilation wave. So essentially what Maria Hill has done here has worked the ultimate scumbag move. Either the senators and generals let her off completely scot-free, or she takes her shiny new toy to jail with her. And once everyday Joes find out that the government had a chance to protect them from a potentially Earth-ending invasion but chose not to do it, needless to say, these people in power might not be in power much longer. The tribunal decides to put the whole thing to a vote, only there's one major thing that's going to impact this. You see, back over in Scotland, we see Captain America take a meeting with the British MP. He gets congratulated for a job well done dealing with the cultists, but only Steve discovered something when he was in that cave fighting the demon. Turns out the cultists didn't wake up the demon at all, an illegal fracking operation tied to the MP did. Yeah, the cultists were actually framed on this one, and Captain America does not like the idea of being used. Oh, he doesn't kill the politician though, but he doesn't save him from the cultist either. This means he's not there to shoot down the proposal that Maria Hill had given, which means that she's let off scot-free and the S.H.I.E.L.D. plans will move ahead. That's a pretty big big bomb to drop, wouldn't you agree? But oh, as always, the final flashback has one little exclamation point to put on things. You see, Steve gets called in for his first big Hydra mission, and you know what it is? Infiltrate Project Rebirth and get close to Dr. Erskine and his super soldier serum. Captain America Steve Rogers #9 was yet another cool issue in a cool series. I've said it once, but it bears repeating. I love me some Maria Hill. She's just so morally complex. If I had to compare her to anyone, I would say she's the Marvel equivalent of Amanda Waller. By which I mean she'll do horrible, monstrous things in pursuit of what she believes to be the greater good. However, unlike Waller, I do believe she lets her ego get in the way more often than she doesn't. And in a way, the longer Hydra Cap's big con keeps going on, the more he actually ends up drifting in and out of Maria Hill territory. I'm also really interested to see the next leg of these flashbacks. I mean, Steve as a Hydra sleeper agent meeting Erskine for the first time. Will he actually change his outlook? I wonder. All in all, I did enjoy the issue, but I will admit it's a little weaker than the ones that preceded it. It is a full-on court procedural where you're doing a lot of reading, and I can see why that would turn some people off. Overall, though, I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 7.5 out of 10.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer? Or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Cape Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.